वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते. Tattvabodha abhidhiyate. This text Tattvabodha is being presented. For what? For the hitarthaya, for the good of who? Mumukshus. Mumukshu is the person who wants to be free, and we saw everybody wants to be free from something or the other, and ultimately from the bondage itself. But the one who recognizes that fact and starts working towards that, for them, those kind of intelligent people, tattvabodha abhidhiyate. To get to that ultimate reality, we will go along with the acharya, with the teacher, and he will nicely take us there. We are studying this because it is complementary to Shastra. Then of course the next logical question would be, what are Shastras? Why do I need Shastras to have my ultimate freedom? How they can help me? And in the process of understanding Shastras, we first understood what are Shruti Shastras, the basic types of Shastras that come into existence along with the creation. Those are the Shruti Shastras. The Vedas, those are in the form of mantras, and those mantras have been seen by the rishis, by the sages. That knowledge that has been collected by those rishis, they have been transferred from generation to generation through the teaching tradition. The purity is maintained because the student have to go to the Gurukula, stay with the teacher, live a life that would make him mentally fit to have the Vedas in him, and then transfer it to the next generation without making even a dent. The way he gets from the teacher, the same way he transfer it to the next generation, to his student. And that is how the purity, the originality of the Shastras were maintained. And they have been maintained till today. Whatever Shastras, whatever Vedas are available, they are the same way. Okay, so it makes sense Vedas were given to us by Bhagavan himself. It comes as the user manual for the entire creation. But then what about Smriti Shastras? There are many kinds of Smriti Shastras. So the rishis like Parashara, Yajnavalkya, Manu, all these rishis, they wrote Smriti Shastras. Also the Darshana Shastras, the philosophy Shastras that were written, they were also by rishis. So what about Smriti Shastras? In order to understand Smriti Shastras, let's understand something here. So first statement that is made, the promise that is made is, even Smriti Shastra, even Itihasa and Purana, they have the same subject matter as the Shastras. So that is why there has to be purity, there has to be originality. Now the people who wrote the Smriti Shastras, who gave out the Smriti Shastras, who were the authors of Smriti Shastras, they were not ordinary people. They completely dissolved their ego. They let their ego go. There was no agenda for them to create any Shastra. They didn't think of creating something. They just went to study Vedas, living with the teacher day in and day out, and dwelling upon the sentences of the Veda. Of course, being Sarvajna, Bhagavan knows that everybody will not be able to connect to Vedas. Vedas have a language of master. They don't explain much. There are people who need little more explanation. Why would they follow any dharma, any do's, any don'ts? Why will they not tell lie? Why will they not do himsa, violence? So people needed more help. That people are there who need more help with reference to this material. Bhagavan knew this. These dedicated people were there who had no agenda of their own, who had completely let their ego go, who had just studied Veda to see what Vedas have to say, what is the subject matter of Veda, how it can be supplemented with right knowledge that would help people get the same knowledge that is there in the Vedas. From Smriti Shastra, whatever knowledge people are getting is the same knowledge that is in the Vedas. So the surrender of the ego, the dedication to just understand Veda, have an insight into the Veda, and then supplement the knowledge of the Veda with the right understandings that would help people who need little more help to follow what Vedas say, to create that kind of material. These people were created by Bhagavan, and these are not ordinary people. Not that anybody and everybody could go and write on Vedas and create the Smritis. And the same principle applies to the Purana and Itihasa Shastra as well. You know the story of Valmiki. Valmiki was a Dakkhat who used to kill people. With the help of Narada, he gets into a lot of austerity, lot of tapas, cleanses himself, cleanses his entire personality, and then with the help of the divine, he gets to write the Ramakatha, the Ramayana. Any other poet who has translated Ramayana into their local regional language, they had to do the same thing, they had to follow the same way. Let your ego go, completely surrender to the teacher, to Shastra, understand the Shastra, the vision of the Shastra, understand exactly what knowledge Bhagavan wants to give through the Vedas. And this work has to be a complementary work, a supplementary work to Vedas. That is why we say there is Ekavakyata. All the Shastras, they all talk about same one knowledge. There are no contradictions. When there are seeming contradictions, there is a way to reconcile them, a very tight way. It's not anybody could say anything. So Shruti Shastras, Smriti Shastras, and Purana and Itihasa Shastras, we can fit all of our Shastras into any of these three categories. Now going forward in this discussion, we need to understand what is their status. What exactly are they?